Why is it that in today's world, so many people find themselves exhausted, stressed, and searching desperately for happiness? The answer might lie in a simple truth: we care too much. We care too much about what others think, about how successful we appear, about comparing our lives to curated images online. And yet, the harder we cling to the pursuit of happiness, the more it seems to slip through our fingers. But what if the path to happiness isn't in caring more, but in caring less? This is where ancient Taoist wisdom offers a surprising insight. The less you care, the happier you'll be. It sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? But in a world of endless pressure, it might just be the key to peace of mind. Imagine you're standing at the edge of a river. The current rushes past, powerful and relentless, representing all the things you think you should control. Work stress, relationships, achievements. Most people spend their lives fighting the current, thrashing and struggling to keep everything under control, only to find themselves exhausted and no closer to peace. Taoism teaches us that true happiness comes not from fighting the current, but from learning to float. The Taoist philosophy is all about Wu Wei, which translates to effortless action or non-doing. This doesn't mean doing nothing or being lazy. It means aligning yourself with the natural flow of life and releasing the obsessive need to control everything. Picture this: you're at work, buried under deadlines and responsibilities, feeling like every email and task is a test of your worth. Your heart races, and your thoughts spin with worry. You fear failing, losing face, disappointing others. Taoist wisdom would suggest that this struggle comes from caring too much, from trying to shape the outcomes and protect your image. What if instead you allowed yourself to care less? Not in a careless way, but in a way that says, I am enough, whether or not I meet this deadline perfectly. This mindset doesn't mean you stop working hard. Instead, you shift your focus from outcomes you can't control to the effort you put in. You do your best, then let go of the rest. Consider the story of Lao Tzu, the ancient sage and author of the Tao Te Ching, the foundational text of Taoism. According to legend, Lao Tzu, after a life of observing the nature of human struggle, decided to retreat from society. But before he left, he was asked to write down his teachings. He penned the Tao Te Ching, which is full of profound yet simple ideas that point to one core truth: harmony comes from simplicity, not striving. One famous verse reads, "When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be." This means that when we stop trying to be everything we think we should be, we create space to simply be. And that's when real happiness begins. Think about a time when you felt happiest. Was it when you were stressing over your to-do list, or when you were caught up in a moment, not caring how it looked or whether you were doing it right? Maybe it was a spontaneous evening with friends, a quiet walk in nature, or laughing at something silly. Those moments are when you let go of the need to control, impress, or achieve. You were living in the now, free from the weight of expectations. That's the essence of Taoist wisdom. Happiness is found when you release the need to constantly monitor, manage, and control your life. Modern science even backs this up. Studies on mindfulness and stress reduction show that those who practice acceptance, an idea central to Taoism, report greater levels of happiness. This doesn't mean they don't work hard or have goals, but they learn to approach challenges without clinging to outcomes. For example, in meditation, you might sit with your thoughts and observe them without judgment. You acknowledge stress, anxiety, or negative feelings without letting them control you. This practice of observing without attachment teaches your mind that you don't need to react to every worry. You can let it float by, like a leaf on the river. Taoism also teaches the concept of balance. Overcaring about any one aspect of life throws you off balance. If you care too much about work, relationships suffer. If you're obsessed with how others perceive you, your true self gets buried. The Taoist approach is to walk a middle path. Strive for balance, understanding that caring less about perfection frees you to appreciate life as it is, not as it should be. It's the difference between striving and thriving. When you release the pressure to control every detail, you open yourself up to joy in unexpected places. How can you start caring less and feeling happier? Begin with small steps. Start by identifying areas where you care too much. Maybe it's in your career, your appearance, or how people view your social media. Ask yourself, am I doing this for me, or because I think I should? Then practice letting go, even if just a little. When thoughts of what if I fail, or what will people think, creep in, remind yourself of Lao Tzu's wisdom. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Trust that doing your best is enough and that life has its own rhythm. Try living with Wu Wei in mind. It might mean not sending that follow-up message to prove a point or stepping away from a task to clear your head without guilt. It's not laziness, it's giving yourself permission to align with what feels natural and sustainable. This shift can reduce anxiety, as you learn that the world doesn't fall apart when you step back. Instead, you gain perspective and energy to approach life with a lighter heart. Taoist wisdom isn't about withdrawing from life but engaging with it more authentically. When you care less about controlling the uncontrollable, you become more present, more connected, and ultimately happier. Imagine a leader who embodies this. They listen without rushing to respond, make decisions without obsessing over what others will think, and handle challenges with grace because they don't fear failure. They see it as part of the journey. That leader isn't just effective, they inspire others to follow not out of obligation but respect and trust. So what can you take from this? Embrace the idea that less is often more. In your pursuit of happiness, try releasing your iron grip on life. Instead of trying to script every detail, allow some things to flow on their own. Trust that not every question needs an answer, and not every fear needs attention. You might just find that when you stop striving for happiness so fiercely, it arrives quietly, as if it was there all along, waiting for you to notice. If this video has opened your eyes to a different way of thinking, don't let the journey stop here. Hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and share it with friends who need a reminder that sometimes, the less you care, the happier you'll be. Let's spread the wisdom of Taoism and help more people find peace in the present moment.